Get that dirty man out of here. The restaurant manager shouted as plates shattered against the tiled floor, the sound slicing through the crowded lunchtime rush like a gunshot. The homeless old man stood frozen at the entrance of the small roadside restaurant, his worn clothes soaked from rain, his hands trembling as he tried to explain he just wanted something to eat. Laughter erupted from a group of customers. Someone even started recording on their phone. Inside the kitchen doorway, Daniel Okoye, the owner of the struggling restaurant, saw everything. His jaw tightened, but he didn't move. Not yet. Before we go any further, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us bring you even more powerful stories. Now, let's begin. Please, the old man whispered, voice cracking. I can work, just give me leftovers. Work? A customer mocked loudly. Look at him. He can barely stand. The manager stepped forward, pointing toward the exit like the man was garbage. You're scaring paying customers. Get out before I call security. That was when Daniel walked out. Calm. Controlled. Too calm. His apron was stained, his face tired from years of fighting to keep the restaurant alive, but his eyes carried something deeper, something unshakable. Stop, Daniel said quietly. The room didn't. Instead, the mocking got louder. Boss man wants to save the beggar, someone laughed. Maybe you should join him outside. The manager scoffed. Daniel, don't embarrass yourself. This place is already struggling. We can't afford charity cases. Daniel didn't answer him. He looked at the old man instead. Up close, he noticed the man wasn't just hungry. He was exhausted, humiliated, invisible to everyone except him. Without saying another word, Daniel walked back inside. The kitchen went silent. A minute later, he returned carrying a full plate of hot food. Rice, grilled chicken, and soup. He placed it gently on a clean table near the window. You eat here, Daniel said softly. The restaurant went dead silent. The old man's eyes widened. You're giving me this? Yes, Daniel replied. A customer slammed his cup down. Are you serious? You're feeding him in here. The manager rushed over. Daniel, have you lost your mind? He'll scare everyone away. But Daniel didn't flinch. If someone being hungry scares you more than your conscience, then maybe you're in the wrong place. Gasps filled the room. Someone muttered, he's finished. This restaurant is done. The old man slowly sat down, tears forming in his eyes as he picked up the spoon. His hands shook harder now, not from weakness but from disbelief. You don't understand what this means, the man whispered. Daniel gave a small nod. Everyone deserves to eat. But outside, phones were still recording. A woman at the corner table whispered loudly. This is going viral. Watch. The manager leaned closer, voice low and angry. You think you're being kind? You're destroying everything I built with you. Daniel finally turned to him. No, he said quietly. I think I'm finally seeing what this place really is. The old man paused mid-bite, suddenly staring at Daniel with an unreadable expression, like he had heard something deeper than everyone else in the room. And then he spoke softly. I didn't come here by accident. Daniel frowned slightly. What do you mean? The old man placed the spoon down, his trembling stopping for the first time. I came here to find you. The room shifted instantly. The laughter died. The phones lowered. Even the manager froze. Daniel stared at him, confused. Find me for what? The old man slowly reached into his torn jacket pocket and pulled out something that made the entire restaurant go silent again. A black leather card holder. Expensive. Clean. Impossible. And when he opened it, everyone saw the gold emblem inside. The entire restaurant felt like it had forgotten how to breathe. The old man's fingers slowly opened the leather holder, and what he revealed made the color drain from every face in the room. A gold-embossed identification card, and beneath it, a corporate seal everyone recognized. Okoye Holdings Group. The manager's face twitched. That can't be real. The old man looked up slowly, his tired eyes suddenly sharp, focused, powerful. The transformation in his presence was unsettling, like the room had just realized it had been speaking loudly in front of someone it never understood. I've walked through your doors for 3 days, he said calmly, voice no longer shaking. Different clothes, different appearances, watching how people treat those they think have nothing. The room erupted into shocked whispers. No way, someone muttered. Is he serious? The old man's gaze shifted toward the manager. And today I got my answer. The manager stumbled back slightly. Sir, I didn't know. He was just a homeless man. Exactly, the old man interrupted sharply. That's exactly the problem. Silence dropped like a weight. Then he turned to Daniel. But his voice softened. You didn't see a homeless man. You saw a human being. Daniel didn't speak. He only stood there, calm, unreadable, as if none of this surprised him. The old man studied him for a long moment. Do you know what a restaurant really is right now? Daniel shook his head slightly. A sinking business, the old man said plainly. Bad management. Bad decisions. People who care more about appearance than integrity. The manager's face flushed red. That's not. The old man raised a hand. You're fired. The words landed like a hammer. Gasps exploded across the room. A chair scraped violently as the manager stepped forward. You can't just, this is my job. But two security guards who had just entered the restaurant stopped mid-step. They had already received the signal. Phones were everywhere now. Recording. Streaming. The video was already spreading. Daniel finally spoke, voice steady. You planned all this? The old man nodded slowly. Not the humiliation. That was their choice. He gestured around the room. But I needed to see what kind of man you were when there was nothing to gain. A pause. Then he added, and you passed without even trying to impress me. The old man reached into his coat and placed a folded document on the table. It slid across the wood and stopped in front of Daniel. A contract. Daniel didn't touch it yet. What is this? He asked quietly. A new beginning, the old man replied. Expansion funding. Full ownership restructuring. And your restaurant becomes the first flagship of a national chain. The room exploded again, this time in disbelief, shock, regret. The same customers who laughed moments ago now looked down, ashamed. One of them whispered, We recorded everything. The old man nodded. Good. Let them. He turned back to Daniel. People like you are rare. I don't invest in restaurants. I invest in character. The manager, now shaking, tried one last time. Sir, please. I made a mistake. The old man didn't even look at him. No, he said coldly. You made a habit. Security escorted him out as the restaurant watched in stunned silence. Outside, sirens of social media had already begun. Comments, reposts, outrage building by the second. But inside, everything felt strangely still. Daniel finally picked up the contract, not rushing, not smiling, just breathing. The old man watched him closely. There's one condition, he added. Daniel looked up. The old man's voice softened again. Keep feeding people who have nothing, even when it costs you something. A long silence followed. Daniel slowly nodded. I already was, he said. And for the first time, the old man smiled. Not as a billionaire, not as an investor, but as a man who had finally found what he was searching for. Outside, the crowd noise grew louder as the video went viral. But inside the restaurant, something had permanently changed. And Daniel's quiet decision was only the beginning of a story the world would soon not be able to ignore.